Hey, well, good afternoon. I'm Travis Bedwell.
And I'm Matthew Bedwell.
And we are the brothers Grub. This is our very first edition of our cooking show. And one of the things I think everybody really needs to know is that we're foodies and we're cooks, but we're not chefs. So for those of you that are professional chefs out there, we absolutely love you. We love coming to your restaurants. But we love to cook and share some of the things that we enjoy cooking with our friends and family, right?
Exactly.
A couple of things we're always going to do on the Brothers Grub. First, we're always going to share a kitchen essential every week. Something that we have found just to be absolutely important in the kitchen. Matthew's going to start off by talking about sharp knives and a fantastic knife sharpening tool that you found. Tell us about that, Matt.
Well, we've got the Work Sharp knife sharpener. I had been looking for something for a while to really put a good edge on my good Wusthof kitchen knives, and this is about the best thing I found. It's really basically a miniature belt sander. It's got 3 different grits of belt that it works with. It's got a
well, you can't just sharpen your knife with that stick that it comes with?
You might could hone it, but you're not going to put a really good sharp edge.
That's why my knives aren't as sharp as they need to be.
The way this works is it's got a guide that you run your knife through, a little on-off switch right underneath the handle, and you just run it through a couple times. You line it up at the edge, turn it on, pull your knife through, give it a couple runs on each edge, switch to this side.
Man, that's fantastic.
And you're good to go.
That is awesome.
And
where'd you find it?
A friend of mine that I went hunting with had one of these out at his camp, and you can pick them up in a lot of places. I got this one off of Amazon, but you can get them at Bass Pro Shop. A lot of your local outdoor stores carry them, and they most places that carry them also carry the replacement belts, because you do end up going through some of those. Belts last a long time, but you will need to replace the belts.
So that's awesome. That's awesome.
That's it.
I have to tell Courtney we have to get one of those for our kitchen. My kitchen essential today is, and one thing that we're always going to offer with each episode of the Brothers Grub is we're going to have a playlist. It may be songs about food one week, or it may be kind of in line with what we're cooking today, which we'll talk about in just a minute. But as a kitchen essential, you got to have a way to listen to music while you're doing your prep work and doing your cooking. One thing that I found is this small little speaker. You just said it was the smallest speaker in the world.
It might be.
It may be.
It might be.
But it's called the Cube, and it works great with any of your MP3 players, iPods, iPads, and it produces really nice sound, especially if you're in your kitchen. So the Cube, which you can find probably at Best Buy or Amazon or wherever. So the music we're going to be sharing on our playlist, which you can follow us on Facebook or on Twitter, at the Brothers Grub. Today is going to be Jason Isbell, Holly Williams, the granddaughter of Hank Williams and daughter of Hank Williams Jr., as well as Gregory Allen Isaacoff. So some really kind of some newgrass music for today, which really kind of fits into what we're cooking today.
It does. We're cooking a whole hog today, and this is not just a hog that you're getting down farm raised.
You didn't call the butcher to get
call
this
the butcher. This is one that a buddy of mine and I went hunting for.
Down in Natchez?
Down in Natchez, right outside of Natchez.
Now, I heard y'all got rednecked out.
We were quite rednecked out. Full camo. We were hunting on the back of a Polaris Ranger, using some AR rifles and just having a big time.
Got your assault rifle, some camo on the back of a Ranger.
Exactly.
Bet y'all didn't tell any stories or anything after that.
No.
Well, we're not going to be able to tell fishing stories where the hog keeps getting bigger and bigger. You've done all the butchering already.
Well, some of the other hogs, besides this one, keep getting bigger. But this one, this is
what it is. So you guys did all the butchering.
Did that. Skinned it, cleaned it, and iced it down. Soaked it in some ice water with some salt in it. Seems to help tenderize meat a little bit. And then actually this one's been in a freezer for a couple weeks, which also helps take some of the gaminess out of the meat. Let's get it out.
Well, you got the fire going. The hickory smells great. Let's get your hog out here. Now, you did one of these for the 4th of July a couple of weeks ago. What did you really kind of learn from this experience the first time?
Well, I learned that I cooked it too long the first time.
Okay.
So we're going to cook it a little bit less.
Well, they are different
It
than
is
one you
different.
get from
It's,
the butcher.
It's much more lean meat than a farm-raised hog. So what we figured out was that the hams got drier more quickly than we expected them to. Usually it's harder to keep the tenderloins moist, but those turned out perfect, but the hams dried out. So what we're going to try and do today is inject a little bit more of our marinade into the hams and the shoulders than we did last time, and also cook it a little bit shorter than we did.
Well, let's get some of that injecting going on. You know, one of the things you have to remember with wild game is they're much more lean than a farm-raised animal. Therefore, like Matthew was saying, we're going to inject some more fat into the this wild game so that we actually hopefully prevent it from drying out during the cooking process.
So what all do we have in here?
In our injection, you know, you can buy pre-made marinades and injectables, but Matthew's really developed a recipe where you just take whatever fruit juice that you really kind of like to have flavor in your meat. Typically with pork, you're talking about apple, sometimes even incorporating a little orange juice. We'll do some butter, and then we did some Brothers Grub seasoning, and we warmed all of this on the stove. That's melting the butter, incorporating that seasoning so that we can go ahead and get it injected really well. So while you're finishing that up, the other part of the preparation is we're going to then now coat this with salt, pepper, and more Brothers Grub seasoning, right?
That's correct.
And you want to get a pretty heavy coat. You don't want to be afraid of using salt. I think sometimes we get afraid of using salt when we're going to go to the grill and cook something long. Would you agree?
I think so, and I think if you're careful, make sure that you're using a kosher salt instead of just a standard table salt. You're able to be a lot more generous with the amount that you're going to use.
Okay. And why is the kosher salt not as salty? Without that iodine in it? Without the extra processing of the salt, right?
I think so.
Okay, so we're going to finish up doing this, putting our seasoning on the outside, the kosher salt, the black pepper, the Brothers Grub seasoning. Matthew's going to finish injecting, and we're going to get this thing on the smoker. How long is this going to have to smoke for, you think?
Well, this pig was about, as it is now cleaned and dressed, we're probably looking at about 20 to 25 pounds, maybe a little bit heavier than that. For something this size, we're looking at probably about 5 hours.
Okay, so we're going to
smoke it, and temperature-wise, we're going to go between 275 and 300. And that should get us a good finished temperature around 170 degrees in the ham.
And you've got a little hickory on that smoker and some hard charcoal.
A little hickory and some good charcoal, and that's all you need.
All right, and when we come back, of course, some natural sides with this would be some coleslaw and some baked beans. We'll do that when we come back. Thanks for watching us today on the Brothers Grub.